I'm Stitchy Sam here on FlossTube, but also on Instagram. Welcome to my channel and welcome back those that have visited me before, but also welcome new viewers. You're all welcome here to my Stitchy channel. You may notice that I've had a bit of a change of location. This is actually my Stitchy chair. This is my Stitchy corner. So welcome to my humble abode. So today I've got WIPs, I've got plans, but also I have update from my son's stitching and his haul and a new start. So please hang around for that. So I've got my notes here, so if I keep looking down, that would be the reason why. So I will start on my WIPs. So to start with, I've got the great Outdoors SAL, which I've got here. Please ignore the owls because that is this month's part. So if I take off the grime guard, you can see here, and just try and ignore the owls, that's for this month. But you can see that the part which was June are these trees and these foxes. Now these foxes took a long time. I actually had to take a little break mid-month, and there was a point last week which I didn't actually think I was going to complete these this part in time, but I did on the 29th of June. So cut it a little bit fine, but really pleased, and I love how it complements the deer above. So maybe if I unwind, you can see that the top. So this is part 7, and part 8 will be, and there's actually another sort of row here. It's a really big part. It's the biggest part of the whole SAL. And then there will be part 8, which will be the final part. Cannot believe it, I've actually kept up with the SAL. So that's really exciting for me. So I just love how it's stitching up. Really love how intricate it is. But yeah, I will come back to that. So the grime guard is by Michelle at Stitch Mania Stash, and the little cute hedgehog needle minder, I believe it is by Stitching Bunny. I got that at a retreat, so if it's not, then please forgive me, but I just thought it was really cute and obviously has that feeling of the outdoors with the hedgehog. So I'll just pop everything down here. I'll have to do a big tidy up afterwards. The next one of my WIPs is, apologies, is the great, not the great, Australia Adventures. So again, it's on the grime guard here, also by Michelle. And what I do is I show you a little picture here of what it looked like last month, or the month previously. And I did complete an additional 6 icons here. So I completed the area here. So I finished the, I think it's emu, the Vegemite, the crocodile, I think that's a blue jay, but I'm not absolutely 100% sure. There's a waterfall, completed that. And then I moved round to complete this shark. And I started a camel, which I will go on to this month. So the needle minder is by Black Pear Stitchery. Her YouTube channel is Kerry and Stitches. Really cute. Little butterfly, not butterfly, bumblebee. Gosh, what am I thinking? So I'm looking forward to stitching on this again this month. And sorry, I forgot to tell you exactly who this is by. This is Caterpillar Cross Stitch, Australia Adventures on 16 count, very light blue Aida, Zweigart Aida, and the threads are DMC. So I don't know what the weather's like for you. It's been extremely hot the last week or so, but today it is this morning is absolutely bucketed it down. It's, I haven't said before, it's Sunday the 5th of July. No, the 6th of July. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've got the house to myself at the moment. My son and my husband have gone up to Wakefield. They're actually on the way home. They're on a train somewhere on the East Coast Main Line. So they'll be back home soon, but it's very unusual for me to have a house that is so quiet. So moving on to the next whip is MNI the Tenth, which I currently have in this project bag. That's by Tittle Bay Stitches, and whilst it's not a Doctor Who inspired, I just thought with the glasses and the little lightning, I thought that was fairly suited MNI the Tenth. So this one is by HAED. It's my Doctor Who inspired design, and I've currently got it on one of my Millennium frames. So just trying to sort out the threads because I'm parking it with the Royal Rose method. So there we go. So this is MNI the Tenth, stitch on 25 count easy grid fabric with DMC threads. As I mentioned before, I'm using the Royal Rose method, so there's a lot of parking going on. I've almost got to the end. Well, not quite. I think I've still got quite a bit. So I'll put up here what it was looked like the last time I stitched it. You can see I've only done a tiny little bit more, but I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I love the bright colours in this one. And on the next row, you'll start to see the head of MNI the Tenth, of the 10th Doctor. So the little needle minder, that was a gift. I don't actually know where that's from. I just picked that one out of my stash, not really related to the project, but I do like that one. So, okay, put that down. So that's the end of my whips. Unfortunately, due to the heat and other things going on, other priorities, other things life related, I've not been able to stitch as much as I would like this past month. So I'm hoping this month I'll be able to do a little bit more to show you in a few more different projects. So moving on to my son's updates. So you may remember, if you've seen some of my previous videos, that his first design has been a row of hearts, or a column of hearts, and he was doing really well on them. Unfortunately, he picked them up thinking, oh, we'll finish this off. Unfortunately, he started to spot the same thing that I'd spotted, that he was going to run out of fabric. So there's his heart, and sadly you can see that to do exactly the same there, we just don't have enough space. So I suggested, well, we'll just make a little heart there. But he was really sad, really disappointed, and really didn't want to do it. So he said, I know, you can do it, Mammy. So I'll finish that off at some point. And then he was eager to start a new, more challenging design. And he spotted, I'm just trying to, obviously that's the chart, I can't show you that. Here we go. He spotted this in my collection, which is a free gift from the World of Cross Stitch magazine. And I said, would you like to have a go at that? And I didn't really think about how tricky it would be to stitch on some wood. And anyway, it didn't get very far. think you can just about see that there's just two tiny stitches. Oh, two tiny stitches there. And it was really tricky, and then I had a go and I found it really difficult. So I said, shall we find you something that is more age appropriate and easy for you to do? So I knew that Caterpillar Cross Stitch had some child inspired designs. So he chose one, and of course I just had to get it for him using some of my stitching budget, and he chose something from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and he wanted the bag. So he has now got his first whip bag. So this is sort of new start and haul for my son. So I'll open it up. So he's got his first whip bag, which he was so excited about. I don't actually have the picture of this because he wanted to throw it away. So I'll see, it's of an ice cream cone, and look how well he's done. I'm just trying to orientate it right. So this is like the stripe of some of the ice cream, and it's got light pink, dark pink, and then it's got the cone down the bottom. Now this is a lemon coloured fabric, 8 count, and you could get the hoop, but this is actually one of my old hoops, which, despite me now moving on to the Nudge frames, I've kept because I've got very happy memories of using this on a lot of projects previously. So I think that's quite nice and quite sweet that he's now inherited one of my favourite tools, I suppose, my favourite hoops. It comes with the kit comes with a nice chunky needle. So it's not quite as chunky as the one he was using previously, but the previous one was on 6 count. This is on 8 count, so it sort of makes sense. So that's really useful for him. He can pick that up, and actually he's stitching, and he's even been trying to teach his daddy how to cross stitch. So I'm really pleased by how he's just taken that to heart. So it comes with a lovely chart. Obviously I can't show you that, and it also comes with pre-sorted threads. I believe that they use DMC at Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So yeah, so they use the pre-sorted, and I've dropped the other one. There's just one, so you can see that the ice cream cone is going to be striped with the light pink and the dark pink, and then there's the other colours that are required there. He's been making some errors, mistakes, but I've always reassured him that I've done the same, and I do that some of them all the time. For example, stitching through 2 bits of the fabric so that it's sort of like buckled underneath, and it's just about holding the fabric so it's out of the way, and that technique. So I'm trying to teach him all about that. So that's Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It's ice cream cone. I don't think it has a specific name, and he's got the junior cross stitch whip bag, so he really loves that. So that's New Start by my son. Yeah, I do recommend that, and the bag is just so cute and beautiful. So that's the end of the whips, the New Start in the haul. I don't have any personal haul this month. However, I have ordered a couple of things which I'll show you in the next video. So plans for July. As I've already mentioned, I'll get it, just 2 seconds. So the Great Outdoors SAL I shall be stitching the rest of this row of owls, and then there's another row with like a teapot, just like an outdoor drink, and finishing off these row of leaves. There are some gaps there because one of the things I've ordered are some more DMC threads, so I should be finishing that. Unfortunately, if you look very carefully, I have stitched the first owl and then subsequently everything else just one stitch too high. Oops. So sorry, I'm going to have to do some personalization there in terms of the things that were meant to be one stitch higher. So if you look at this, and that's why there's that thread hanging down, is because that leaf currently would touch the row with the foxes. Now what I'm going to have to do is work out how I can reduce this down, because there's 720 stitches. I'm not stitching all of my progress from the last 5 or 6 days. So I'm going to have to do some personalizations there, and hopefully it will look all right. And by this time next month, you will know nothing about it. So doing that, and I'm going to continue on Australia adventures. My aim is to do 6 more icons. That's what I've set myself. I think if I do 6 a month, I will be finishing that by the end of this year as well. Now, moving on to the whip go board. This month, the first whip was chosen was my Mario pose. So I've got this whip bag. This was Tuttle Stitches as well. I just saw her post it on Instagram. She only had one. I just bought the chart and it was just like a marriage made in heaven. I had to have this whip bag with Mario and Luigi on. I started this one with CXC threads. It was my first attempt at it. Now this is what it currently looks like. Oh, so hopefully you can see this. It's very top of the background, and on this row we'll just start to see the top of Mario's hat. So my son wants me to go this direction, whereas there is still a lot of background here. So I'll probably go along, hit his hat, and then I'll go up here backwards. So it's going to be odd doing the Royal Rose the opposite way round, but hopefully you can see that okay. I know there's lots of shadows and things going on because we've got a lot of rain and it's sort of dark, and then I've had to put the lights on. So that's that one. My son is really excited for me to do that. Unfortunately, that's the last time it's going to be picked out by Whip Go. Although 1 month I wasn't able to stitch on that design at all. So I'm not going to say never for this year, particularly as I'd really like to get it completed before my son actually becomes an adult. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So the second whip we chose was my son's second favourite that I'm doing, and it is my squirrel, which is upside down. I'll take it out in a second. Again, no, actually this bag is by Not Another Whip Bag, and it's got a lovely little tassel. I just thought it was perfect for my squirrel, which has very autumnal colours and a lot of oak leaves. So I'll get that one out. So apologies for the scrunching, but this is what squirrel is going to look like when complete. And here's a little picture of what the squirrel looked like. Well, this is what it looks like previously. So this is what it looks like currently. So it's Sally Squirrel by Gecko Rouge. It was actually a SAL, started in 2015. So you can see I've had a problem with starting the sales in the past, not keeping up. So this is on 25 count magic guide. Been stitching it so long that the grid lines are starting to fade out, but because I'm using the parking method of Royal Rose again, you can see I shouldn't have too much of a problem finding where I'm going. So I'm really hoping that this month I'll finish this row, so then I'll be heading down to the leaves, which in the past, even these two small ones, when I was using different methods, was so tricky to do. So I'm really hoping the Royal Rose method will help me. And obviously I've started to park a lot of different colours here, and I'm hoping to get that done. So this one is currently at around about the 60% mark. I will put here exactly what it is. Although actually I do have my Kindle here, and it's where I have my pattern keeper on. So I have Kindle Fire, HD, Kindle Fire, and there are workaround methods. You do need Google Play app put on it. If you look on YouTube, you can actually find some workaround videos to do that. How? Right, okay, so pattern keeper. Where's my squirrel? There we are. It's currently at 69%. Actually, it's almost at 70%. It's a bit further along than I actually thought. That's not going to get complete this year. However, maybe a finish next year. So that's my Sally squirrel. Again, I've put her in upside down. And I will be stitched on her at least, I think, squirrel. I want to finish that first row. I'm not really going to stick to a specific number of days, although I think on my whip go board it's meant to be 8 days, but I'm just going to try and finish that top row. And the Mario, I've got down to do it for 10 days, but it really depends how long that the Great Outdoors SAL takes me, because like I said, that is the biggest part of that SAL. It's about 2,500 stitches. I'm about on that one. I'm about 30% on that. So it is taking a long time, and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to get that complete in a reasonable period of time. My plan is to stitch on my SAL on Monday to Thursdays, and then the weekend to stitch on my other designs. So I've got more to show you in the future FlossTube videos. So I'm going to continue stitching on the Great Outdoors SAL Monday to Thursday, and then this Friday through to Sunday I'm going to be stitching on Australia Adventures, or as long as it takes me to do those 6 icons. And then I'm going to switch back to the Great Outdoors SAL again Monday to Thursday, and then I'm going to stitch on my squirrel, and then hopefully I've already finished it. But if I haven't finished the Great Outdoors SAL, I'm going to stick Monday to Thursday and then the other designs. So at least I'm going to have more than 3 items to show you. Going forwards, I'm going to have a think about what I'll do after August once I've completed that, because I will have a good half of a month to fill up. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll use my special spinner, my tiny decisions on my other non-full coverage designs, just so that I'm not excluding them from this year. I really do want to stitch on everything at least once, and it'd be nice to show you a few extra bits that I actually have in the process. I've also got a retreat coming up in October, and I can't show you what it's going to be, but I'm going to take part in the smalls exchange there, and the what do you call it? Basically, what we have to do is stitch on something that's either autumnal or Halloween based, because obviously it's in October. So I've chosen something that is a little bit spooky, a little bit cute, and I'm going to be stitching on that this month through to August. I really want to get it complete in September rather than have a rush. So it is a very small design. I'm looking forward to showing you that after it's been exchanged in October. And I've also asked my son what he plans to do, and he says he's going to stitch more of his ice cream cone because he's so excited whenever somebody comments on his stitching. So if you enjoyed that so far, please consider giving me a like or subscribing. Really do appreciate it. Any comments, particularly from my son, are well appreciated. Now finally, I want to announce the winner of the giveaway that I did last month. So what I've done is I put everyone that entered onto a wheel here. So what I'm going to do is just going to press that and decide who's the winner. Here we go. Here's the winner. So the winner is Stitching with My Littlely, and they've opted for, I've got C afterwards, that means that they've opted for a voucher or a design up to the price of £11.99. So, and by Stitching Cabin. So oh my goodness, Stitching with My Littlely, please get in touch either through a private message through Instagram or on here. I'm pretty sure we've corresponded on Instagram before, so please get in touch, and I will with your email address, so in a private message, and I'll arrange for, and let me know which design you would like, and I'm looking forward to you stitching on it. So it's really exciting. I've actually met them both before, so that would be really cute. So I think that is about it. So thank you for watching this far. Well done for stitching with my Littlely. I'm really excited for you, and thank you everyone that leaves a comment. So once again, if you do like what you see, subscribe to this channel. The more subscribers I get, the more often I'll be able to do giveaways. So currently I'm just hovering just above the 100 subscribers. When I hit 250, I'll again be doing a giveaway, and so I'm really excited for that. So every time there's a milestone, I will be doing a giveaway, and I'm looking forward to doing that because I really just love giving away, and I love the comments that I come back with. So that is me for my June update. Going forwards, I want to do some FlossTube extras, to things like showing you some of the finished pieces that I've done previously, which you haven't seen before. I might also do a very short update on a review of the DMC chest, which I had. I did include it in my haul, but I don't think it did itself justice. And also I'll be doing a retreat extra at some point. So if you are interested in seeing any of those, please let me know in a comment, and I will try and get those shared with you as soon as possible. I am not doing a half-year whip parade because it's not been that long since I did a whip parade, and there's not been a great deal more to show you. So just look out for, I'll be doing one at the beginning of next year or the end of this year, plus my plans, and which I'm already thinking about for next year. It's just crazy, isn't it? We've only just met the halfway point of the year. I'm already thinking about the next in terms of my stitching. So thank you for watching so far, and I will see you again next time, I hope. Take care and happy stitching.